Guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Chris. Today we are continuing the series of the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. Today we're going to be talking about the law of process. This is personally one of my favorites because I do think this is so applicable outside of even if you're looking towards developing leadership. If you're just looking towards developing a small amount of money, this one is so important, but it is absolutely detrimental, especially if you are looking towards developing an organization, leading a team, or even yourself. So the first thing the book talks about is the routines and tasks that you make time for day after day is what you will eventually build and is what becomes the success of both yourself and your business. Basically, seeing what a person is doing every single day, day after day, and you'll know what that person is going to become or going to accomplish. What it means is that your daily habits determine your future. What you put your time into is going to develop the type of person you are. Every single person, no matter what. The learning process is ongoing, no matter what you ever accomplish or you ever arrive at the person that you are complete. Every single day you're being shaped either by a little or by a lot. And that's what so many people, don't understand, is that they think that leadership is something that happens in a day, when realistically, it's something that is learned every single day. You're constantly learning. So the first thing, let's go back to that habits. So what you put your time into, what you invest your time into, is what you're going to reflect as a person. That's the person that you're going to become. So let's figure out exactly how that ends up starting. Let's talk about habits for a second. So what are habits? Well, habits, it's widely considered that they're set up through three sets of a process. Cue, routine, reward. Cue, routine, reward. Let's talk about the simpler one, alcohol. A lot of people drink alcohol. So alcohol, the cue is someone offers you a beer. Right? All of a sudden you drink it, that's the routine. And the reward is that you might feel a little bit better. And you consistently do that and you consistently do that until all of a sudden a habit is formed. So let's talk about why a habit forms. It's because the brain wants to make things as fast and as automated as possible. It's smart. It doesn't want to use excess energy. So it creates like a muscle memory of sorts so that it doesn't have to put too much thought into it. And this can be applicable in every aspect of your life. Your wake up routine, your nighttime routine, your work routine, and so on and so on and so on. Everything eventually becomes automated. Now, the thing is that there are good habits and there are bad habits. So bad habits are things that are detrimental towards your character or your goal. Things that take away from you accomplishing the things that you want out of life, whether it's whatever it is that you value. So something like drinking let's just assume that it is a bad habit. For most people, they consider it a bad habit. Now, whenever dealing with bad habits, so many people look towards trying to change the bad habit to something that's not as bad. So, for example, they might have a drinking habit and they go, let's replace it with a soft drink habit. Rather than drinking alcohol, I'll just drink soft drink. Now, you could argue that both are bad, right? And going off of that pretense, all that's end up happening is that you've developed two bad habits. That's what's happened. You develop two bad habits. And the thing about habits is they never disappear. That's why relapses occur. So what you need to do is look towards the time that you're investing to these bad habits and completely switch it into good ones. Now, that's what becomes difficult. How do you determine what a good habit is? A lot of people would assume that it's to do with health. A lot of people would do it to do with fitness. But the way I determine what a good habit is anything that is progressing and productive towards a goal that you're looking to achieve, whether it's short-term, medium, or long-term. So if short-term you're looking towards getting your health in check, yes, alcohol would be bad towards that. If short-term you're looking towards developing your relationship, yes, alcohol would be bad towards that. If you're looking towards developing a successful business, making a lot of money, alcohol would be bad towards that. So once you understand that, then you need to start breaking down what are the bad habits? And this is how it comes back to your daily habits will determine your future. So understanding that the productivity and getting towards your goal, what are some of the things that you could replace them with? Well, anything that would actually be productive. For example, working on yourself would be the number one thing that I can say. Not just physically, but more importantly, mentally. Sorting out your character, talking and learning from people who have what it is that you're looking towards achieving, the books that you read, whatever it is that you're taking into your mind projects the type of person that you will become, just like how everything else. So let's talk about how to fix it, how you start solving it. Well, it starts with your thoughts. Your thoughts determine your habits, and your habits determine your circumstances. So many people believe that their circumstances is just life happening to them, when in reality, you're in more control than you think. For example, your subconscious mind is so powerful. It's probably 10,000 times more powerful than your conscious mind. And in fact, there's so many phenomena that think about the secret and how law of attraction, how you speak things into existence. But on a more logical term, let's think about it like this. Whatever you consciously care about eventually affects your subconscious. And the thing about your subconscious is it will actively look towards making decisions, putting you in circumstances and situations that aid in having that conscious thought become a reality. For example, if you think about relationships a lot, that's all you care about. That's your conscious thought. Subconsciously, your mind is going to make decisions that bring you closer towards that goal, whether it's putting you in social situations at the club, or basically making sure that you're prioritizing dates with the opposite sex or the same sex or whatever your potential relationship over other things. And I see it happen all the time with cars. Growing up, there were so many people who had an obsession with certain types of cars, and they ended up getting them. Now, it wasn't a coincidence. It wasn't life happening to them. It was their circumstances being directly correlated to their subconscious, important, dominating thoughts. So just like how your habits will determine your future, so will your initial thoughts, because those determine your habits. So you basically have to stay in check with what is it that you care about. What are the goals? What are the things that you want to achieve out of life? And if you can start to figure that out, then you can start making decisions, developing habits accordingly. I think that if you're incredibly healthy, you have the body that you're looking towards achieving and so on, I think your daily habits have to reflect that. I think you must go to the gym at least 3 to 5 times a week. That's what's going to happen. And the same things as physical health, same things happen with success. If you dedicate majority of your time, a certain period of time every single week towards developing your business, no matter the sort, or developing yourself, no matter the sort, or working on a degree, eventually you're going to accomplish that degree, that business. You're going to become successful. You're certainly going to learn in that regard. So the law of process talks about how there is a direct process that dictates your outcome. You just have to understand and realize what habits are developing you closer towards that goal. And so many people get caught up in thinking that addiction is different to habits, when the truth is, addiction is anything that you feel as though you have to do. So this is controversial, but this is what I truly believe, is that sleep, eating, breathing, those are addictions. Those are things that you have to do. You feel as if you have to do. It's just some are more acceptable than others. For example, if sleeping is certainly an addiction, a lot of people oversleep. So that you have to basically realize that maybe that's digging into some of your productive time. So with eating, so many people overeat. If so many people are overweight, then that means we're overeating. Breathing is something that you can never negotiate. It's something that you have to do. But if you can understand those are the 3 things that are the only things that you have to do, then technically speaking, anything outside of that is a choice. Anything outside of those 3 things are a choice. So you need to decide if the choices that you're making with the habits that you're creating, whether it is watching entertainment, playing a sport, or whatever, if those are truly getting you closer to your short-term, medium, and long-term goals, and make decisions accordingly. I would highly suggest that any bad habits you have, you need to not replace them with lesser bad habits, but completely flip them on their head and develop good ones. But be careful, because the thing about bad habits and habits in general, is they never go away. That's why relapses occur. Just like how someone can't drink for 20 years, they've had not a single drop of alcohol and they'll completely regress. Well, that's because they never actually go away. They just become less automated, but the muscle memory, the foundation is always there. There's a reason why so many people still know how to ride a bike, even though they haven't ridden a bike in 10 years. It's because those habits, those muscle memories, they're ingrained into the brain. So what you need to do, as much as you need to focus on developing your habits, but also develop the discipline. Because something that is always going to be consistent is the urge to fall back, the urge to relapse. It's why majority of people do, and the only thing that can make sure that stops you from doing that consistently every single time is discipline. And that's the law of the process. If your habits reflect your future, work on your habits. Get rid of the bad ones, develop good ones. But on top of that, develop the disciplines to make sure that these habits you don't relapse towards, fall back into the same routines, fall back into the same lifestyle, the same stuff, especially if you don't value that. And that ends up developing your leadership. Because a person who's highly disciplined, a person who has their habits in check, basically success is the default. A highly disciplined person, success is just going to come, whether it's financially, whether it's in status, whether it's in power, no matter what. And that is a fundamental aspect of leadership. It's previous successes. So if you can work on your daily habits, they're going to reflect your future. Whether you're a girl or a guy, no matter what, this is a non-negotiable for everyone. So understand what it is that the type of person you're becoming based on the investments that you have. And recognize that the thing about time, if you do truly believe it's the most valuable commodity, and it is the most valuable commodity, where are you investing it? Because that's the thing about time. It's a commodity that's constantly being invested. And no matter what, you're going to get a return on this specific investment. So what is it that the person that you're looking towards becoming, because of these daily habits, because of your process that you're utilizing, what is that actually leading towards? Understand that if you're not happy with it, look towards changing. And I highly suggest that the easiest way you figure that out is by figuring out your goals and work out if your daily habits reflect a productive process towards achieving them. Anyways, guys, that's it for Quick Notes with Chrisan on the 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. That was rule number 3, the law of process by John C. Maxwell. I highly suggest you keep staying in tune with the series that we have going on. We're going to be breaking down every one of the 21 laws. So if you like what we're seeing, like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell so you can stay updated, and share this with someone if you think that it might be able to help them along their process of the way towards becoming leader, developing themselves, developing their skills, developing themselves in business. But other than that, guys, I'm Chris, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.